Yes, hello everyone. How are you doing? All right. Evening, everybody. Welcome to the preview. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. I'm going to be joined by Sam very, very shortly, and we're discussing both Wolves and Newcastle. Of course, we need a massive bounce back. We need a performance by the lads because the second half against Spurs was absolutely shocking. So if you want to get involved, get your comments in the live chat as ever. And I just want to point out first of all, and this is an incredible achievement before we crack on with the preview and what have you. Our Facebook page went over 70,000 followers, which is incredible. There's about 5 or 6 of us that work on the Facebook page. And so it's great news, great achievement. I think we're only just over 3,000 off the total of 150,000 followers across YouTube and the socials. So that was a nice little achievement a couple of days ago. So thank you very much if you are following us over on Facebook. A great little achievement. But as I say, we'll be talking about the preview in a moment. If you're having a bet on this Friday's night's game, you need to have a look at this because this is your chance to win some easy money. Hello everyone, we're just pausing the video dead quickly to tell you about our new sponsors who are Profit Accumulator. Now you're probably thinking, what is that? Now, if you're like me and haven't got a clue about match betting, this is absolutely fantastic. I've never heard of this before. They'll search, which is Profit Accumulator, they'll search online for all the best free bets on any outcome that you want to put on. So if Newcastle, of course, playing this weekend, you can bet on Newcastle to win, to draw and lose by placing free bets. You cannot lose. It's fantastic. I didn't even know this was out there. Profit Accumulator also have a step-by-step guide on their website if you're a novice like me, and they'll go through it with you. It is absolutely fantastic and you can't lose any money. It's free money. Have a look at the link in the description down below. Yeah, so Profit Accumulator, which is fantastic. I've been using this for the last few weeks now. I didn't know too much about it, to be honest with you. It's about Profit Accumulator, how it works and stuff, but it works. It helps. I've won a few bobs on it. They'll give you both the options of win, lose, and draw. But yeah, let's crack on with it. So this is the preview. So I just want to take a look at, first of all, the lineup that Newcastle had the other night, because there's going to be some changes needed amongst the lineup because it wasn't great. No, it wasn't, Carl. Wasn't it not? It was not great at all. But if you win on Friday night, I think we will be absolutely
buzzing.
We will be, Josh. We will be. And Sam, what about you?
Well, I've got to take the fucking positives, haven't I?
You do. You've got to take the positives from it. You can tell I've been playing around with some of these as well. But if Newcastle can win, I mean, the lads owe us a performance for us. But we'll take a look at the lineup. This is the Newcastle lineup, of course, which we all know about. Look, it wasn't fantastic, was it? So it wasn't great that Newcastle didn't come away and didn't win out. It is a second half collapse, so to speak. Martin Dubravka goal, Javier Manquillo, Fabian Schär, Dan Burn, Matt Targett, John Joe Shelby, Joe Willock, Joe Linton, Fraser, Alan Saint-Maximin, Chris Woods. And then obviously when Sam comes on, we'll talk more about Newcastle a little bit more in depth. But obviously I'm going to come to your comments very shortly as well. But that was the Newcastle lineup. And Mr. Smullen is actually ready to join us as well. So I'll bring him into the chat as well. Sam, you all right?
Yeah, I always feel very uncomfortable when you have too much time on your hands and edit clips down of all of us.
I know. It's not great, is it, when life catches up with you? You look a bit knackered there. Do you want to tell us what you've been up to the last 10 minutes?
No.
All right.
Just, work, life, stuff. But very much hoping for a reaction on Friday night from Newcastle United.
We do. And Bruno tweeted the other day, as a group, we have to apologise to the fans for our performance today. We need your support. It's fundamental, as always, for the next 3 home games to come. Let's play together. So Bruno's obviously come out and said, look, yes, it's disappointing. I think do you think, Sam, there was a few overreactions from, even from us, like with our scores as well? Social media, do you think there's a little bit over the top?
Possibly. It was bad, though, wasn't it? Let's not get away from it. I thought Bruno was the only player to come out with any sort of merit whatsoever. for me, he goes straight back into the team on Friday, irrespective of Joe Willock's knock that's expected to keep him out. So the guy's a level above, same as Trippier. Trippier's nearly back, but it looks like he's going to miss the next two still. Overreaction? I don't know. It was a complete capitulation. We're in the game, but we never really looked like scoring away from set pieces, did we?
We didn't know. Look, it was. Do you think Harry Kane was the? Do you think it was all on him that he was the game changer from Spurs' point of view?
Well, Spurs have got some very good players, and we haven't got very many very good players. Spurs have been perennial underachievers in the past 5 years, haven't they? So it is what it is at the end of the day. We move on. These next 4 games now will define whether we settle in mid-table or whether we really are in the mire, because we're not out of it yet. We're nearly there, but the game that's currently, is it still 1-1 between Burnley and Everton?
I don't know, to be honest with you. Let's have a look.
One of them teams win, then they both have a game in hand on us. They're not far off us, so it's not done and dusted yet. So Wolves, Leicester, Norwich away, Palace at home. We need to be picking up points, because the games after them are pretty gruesome up until we go to Turf Moor on the last day of the season, and you don't want to be going there needing anything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. My share screen facility is not working, so this is lovely stuff. This has all gone tits up, shall we say? I'm trying to fix it as we talk, but as when you're alive, it's difficult. It is difficult. Strasbourg Steve is laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at. I don't know if you've seen some of the things that have been putting up. I don't know if you've seen them, Sam. You would have missed it. Evening says Ollie, great video title. Go make the fans proud. Damn right. Steve, I'm taking half a day at work, and many other Americans, Toon fans are too. Worldwide fans will be getting up at stupid hours of the day at night to watch us play. Wait, that's stupid hours. It's only like what, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Steve? At your time?
That's not silly hours, is it?
That's a great time. Surely Bruno starts on Friday. Surely.
Yeah, 100%. Wouldn't surprise me if there was another change in there either. It wouldn't surprise me to see Sean Longstaff play.
Wow. I am still trying to fix this. Bear with us. So do you think it'll be a wholesale changes made?
No, because what happens if we make wholesale changes? We're severely weakened. That's where the overreaction may happen from us, in the sense that, everyone's going to be dropped and whatnot. That shouldn't be the case. Obviously, players are going to throw in some stinkers every now and again. They're not world beaters. I know Joe Linton had turned into Patrick Vieira, but he's had 2 pretty poor performances the last twice. I would be looking to pull him out at the side and go with Shelby, Bruno and Sean. But I want Sean to be getting forward, not just languishing, sitting in the middle of the park. Someone needs to be making them runs that Willock has started to do again. So the midfield is key. We've lost the midfield battle the last 2 games now, and it's cost us dearly. So, but wholesale changes, no, because we just haven't got the squad to make wholesale changes.
I think there's too many errors in the back. Matty Targett was awful. Dan Burn was awful. Fabian Schär was awful.
Yeah, exactly. But them players, they've been fantastic of late. But again, they're not world beaters. They're not going to be amazing every single week, are they? Well, that's not where we're at the moment. Look, me and you both weren't fans of the Target deal, but you know, he's been brilliant since he's been in. That was his first poor game. The back line, the centre backs, look, it's been an issue for most of the season. Dan Burn's been great, but again, there's a couple of errors creeping in there. Did you see the footage of him at Sam Fender last night? Stuck out like a sore thumb.
I was meant to be. I got a 1 ticket from work, because we've got a box at work, and I was devastated. I kind of gang, because he comes on at 9 o'clock. So yeah, I seen a Dan Burns like, hey. But I saw him and Kieran Trippier at the side, giving the Mackhams a bit of stick as well, which was great to see.
I think Trippier was in a box from the looks of it. Robson Green, friend of the channel, he was there too in a box.
I don't think Trippier was in a box. I think he's at the side.
Oh, he was just in seating?
I think so.
In the cheap seats.
I don't think the cheap mind. I think it's the VIP section.
Oh, okay.
I was at the opposite. I was at the opposite for the April Hunter and Savannah fight.
Yes,
So,
yes. Very good.
Brandon, we haven't had the strongest squad, agreed, but we were on a 9. Well, not a winning streak, a 9 unbeaten streak.
Yeah, but the games that involved in that winning streak, they were against teams that you should be beating or getting something from if you're going to stay in the Premier League. Let's face it. We didn't expect anything from Chelsea, but got a great performance, and then we got a poor performance at Everton. Let's not get away from that, and then a capitulation at Spurs. But as I say, these next 4 games are going to define us now. They're huge. We need to pick up points. Wolves are a very good team. They're going to finish 7th or 8th. They'll be battling West Ham for 7th. And that's where we really should be looking for next season if we stay up, to do what Wolves and West Ham are doing, and comfortable top half, trying to disrupt things at the top. But they're a very good team.
Now, for me to enable to share screen, I'm going to have to leave you, Sam, for a couple of minutes because I can't do it whilst I'm live. I need to leave Google Chrome. So, can you tell us, talk to us about the last few away games, how we've had 4 on the bounce, and then you mentioned the next 4 as well, and I'll come back in a couple of seconds.
Yes, well, absolutely. I mean, it's typical Premier League scheduling. The previous 4 games, see, he's gone now, viewers. It's just me and you. Look, 4 away games on the bounce. It's been an absolute killer, especially for the likes of Lee putting in the miles, Johnny going all the way down to London. Bless him, to see that performance on Sunday. What a long train ride that would be home. And it's great now to get back to St James's Park. 3 of the next 4 games are at home, and we have to take advantage. I cannot stress just how big of a deal these next 4 games are. You look at the live league table as Burnley are playing Everton now. A draw would be perfect for us because then neither of which are gaining on us. I mean, you look at Watford, you look at Norwich, they're pretty much gone, aren't they? Obviously, Leeds are down there with us, and I think above us, then you're safe. But away games, as Lee has returned, sharing his screen, and he's got the league table up, which will demonstrate my point. I'd be sweating if I was Leeds United. I don't know about you, Lee.
Yeah, it was a fix. There was something wrong with Google Chrome. It needed an update. I couldn't share the screen, but we've got it, everybody. Yeah, it's very, very tight. And if the Burnley game and Everton are currently live, so you guys are rewatching this later, you might see that as a result. So the league table could be very different. But I wanted to bring it up because there's a couple of people still questioning, are we safe? I still don't think we are. I think 35.
No, we're not safe.
I think 35. I kind of see Burnley and Watford getting to 35. I think that's it for me.
I would agree with that. I think winning a draw or 2 wins would get us safe. I think the days of 40 points are pretty much over, unless it's like when we go down. Then you need to get 40 points. But yeah, it's crucial. We need to see a reaction starting Friday night. It's a huge game, this.
Massive game. Well, let's pause about Newcastle. Let's talk a little bit about Wolves. Let's have a look at their recent form. So, not the greatest. You can see a few losses here. So they've lost what 3, 4 out of 7, and they've won the 3. They don't. If you notice this, Sam, they don't draw many games.
No, they don't. They're very good defensively. Bruno Lage has done a cracking job this season. I think Kilman, whilst I remember in January, like, people wanted Connor Cody and whatnot, and singing his praises. Kilman's gone under the radar, and he's had an absolutely belting season. And he's the pick of their centre backs. He's overshadowing Cody for me. Kilman's been absolutely superb. They're missing a couple of players, but they were, if you remember, Lee, when we were down Molineux, which I was reminiscing today about that game for a separate podcast that's out tomorrow, which was obviously the last game before the takeover.
I know we were all devastated outside of that. Do you remember it?
Well, I've got to take the fucking positives, haven't I?
Honestly, you got too much time on your hands.
I've got them all, man. I've got them all. even Carl sick of it. You know what I mean? I've just
I know. I said when I first come in that you've been clipping us up, but I remember the YouTube comment on was it? I think it was mine and Johnny's instant reaction that someone had put in the YouTube comments. I looked like I was ready to punch a puppy.
It was horrible that day. Yeah, it was
Peeing down with rain, and then like we went in. Like,
you're home in half an hour.
A bit longer than that, but yeah. And Jeff Hendrick scored, and that was the highlight of the day. We went in 1-1, but we never looked like it was the most comfortable 2-1 win Wolves will ever have. But Hwang was fantastic that day. The defence got carved open time and time and time again. There was no Jimenez that day, but it didn't matter. They're missing Neves as well, aren't they, Friday?
Yeah. Well, Jeff Hendrick's got 1 in 3 goal scoring ratio this season, the best of any Newcastle player. And he's had 1 shot, and that went in, 100% ratio. But yeah, you mentioned obviously Neves. We'll talk about a couple of their players. So obviously Wolves, the 1-3 at the last 4. They seem to be putting the act together, and they are. If we actually take a look at the league table, we'll just go, ooh, Everton. There's an update for you.
Everton are winning.
Everton are winning. Ooh, that looks a bit too much. That for me, 6 points. That'll be a great result for Everton if that comes that way. If we go further up the table, though, Wolves are hoping for possibly, realistically, they're not going to finish any lower than 8th. Europa Conference League. That's where the aims are. Because I don't think can they catch West Ham with Man U? Or is that too far?
Well, Man U have got a game in hand over West Ham, haven't they? So, like I said earlier, that they'll be fighting for 7th with West Ham.
Aye. It's tight, but it's good to see. I like to see the likes of West Ham, Wolves, Leicester a couple of years ago. Not even that. Last season,
well, Leicester have had a poor season, haven't they? And we've got to take advantage of that when I'm up with you next weekend.
Yeah, it'll be a good weekend. We'll have a few vlogs, put it that way, with some engagement parties and what have you. But we'll go to Wolves. I wanted to pick. You've mentioned just a couple of those players. If we bring this up, as the Premier League website, you mentioned Jose Sauz. Steve's a big fan of him, and obviously, Connor Cody. You mentioned their defense. You mentioned Kilman as well. Where is he?
Down a bit.
There he is.
Maximilian.
10. So basically, 1 out of 3 clean sheets when he plays.
He's the pick. He's been the pick of their defenders this season.
Johnny's come back as well. A couple of goals of late.
Yeah, good player. Very good player. They're very, very solid at the back. I mean, they're only, if you want to call it a weakness, Semedo, he obviously likes to get forward, but not the strongest defensively.
Yeah, it'd be interesting about Saint-Maximin if he's up against him. More on him a little bit later. The midfield, Ruben Neves, excuse me, we know what he gets. Matinho, still at his age, playing a lot of football. Romazais is a defender, really, but Podence's tricky, isn't he?
Yeah, they've got a few tricky players like that, haven't they? Matinho will do like the Shelby job and will just sit and ping balls around. But yeah, Podence and Neto, they're wingers that'll try and cause our defence the biggest problems creatively. Yeah. And then Fabio Silva, obviously they signed as one for the future, and Hwang, I thought was superb at Molineux earlier in the season.
Yeah, he got a double against us, didn't he? So, yeah, so that's Wolves. Let's pause and we'll talk more about Newcastle as well. We'll have a look, see what he's saying in the comments as well. What clip you got for me, Lee? It's hard to find one, I assume. I can get you one, Brandon. I can get you plenty of what you say.
Yeah.
Naz, I can as well. 2-1 Everton, yeah. Thanks, Mags. 2 penalties for Everton. No surprise the way Richarlison and Anthony Gordon went on against us. Yeah, Richarlison was flinging himself at Goodison. It was a joke. Everything constantly twisting. Giammattino doesn't get the credit he deserves for either. What a player. We were linked to him for years back when he was a young.
He used to be one of them talking players, didn't he? And it never seemed like he'd really hit the kind of world-class heights. But he's very adept in the Premier League, and he'll sit and ping balls around all day. Proper quality centre midfielder. Yeah,
and he doesn't need to run around because he hasn't got any pace, but he's never had that. Even when Porto days, when he was more of a number 10 playing further up. Andy, good to see you, pal, on the regular fan reaction. Do you think we should play 5 at the back?
No.
Why?
I was all for 5 at the back against Spurs, and I didn't, and for Chelsea, but I don't think that's necessary against Wolves. I think the system we employ should be able to contain what they have. personally.
I wouldn't want to say 5 at the back. I can understand Andy wants to safe. That's probably the word I would use. But no. Let's talk a little bit about Newcastle. We are going to try and pick a team as well, because I think Friday will be very, very interesting. I am expecting 2-3 changes of performance from the lads. The always that the titles in the video. If we have a look at, as I say, you were talking about. Well, actually, we'll talk about the results that you were saying earlier. We're not a great run. The defeats against Chelsea, having late goals, like you can point the finger at players at every single goal that we've conceded recently.
Now, you can't point the finger at the Chelsea performance. They were superb that day.
The performance was, but it's Dan Burn for me. He was a fault for that goal. I can't get away from it.
Yeah, but if you're a centre back and you make a mistake, you can see the goal. If you're like a right mid and you make a mistake, it goes out for a throw in. It's fine margins. They were superb against Chelsea. I can't fault that. The Everton game was very, very, very lacklustre. The Everton game and the Spurs game was very, very flat, wasn't it? We've dwelled on that enough the past few days. But before then, it was ace, wasn't it?
No, but I haven't had a home game since the 5th of March. That's like over a month.
Wow.
And we've been, well, if you want to include the friendly away to not Saudi, Qatar, that's like you're talking five away games.
Dubai.
If you include that as well.
You need to sharpen up on your Middle East geography.
Qatar, UAE, sorry.
Correct.
UAE. I always get those two mixed up all the time. Because they're next door to each other and mega powerful rich. So we know that the results of Newcastle are not very good at the moment. I wanted to talk about a couple of players we know who we're coming on to here is Alan Saint-Maximin. A lot of stick. Massive stick of late. Is it fair?
No.
Why?
Because if it wasn't for Alan Saint-Maximin, there was every chance we would have gone down last season. There's every chance we'd be already down this season. The guy's carried us at times over the past 18 months. And I know he's not without flaws. Of course he has his flaws. Every flair player in that position, unless you're Messi of old.
I mean, even he's struggling.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said Messi of old. You're gonna be criticised. Oh, you didn't track back for this or this, that, and the other. It is what it is. You get that sometimes. He wasn't great against Spurs, but or Everton. No, Everton.
When was his last great game? And
before he got injured, is he fully fit? Is he fully wound up? I don't know. But back at home on Friday, he owes a performance. He knows he needs a performance, and I think we'll get one. But there's no way you take him out for the team. I will defend ASM. I would defend ASM to the hilt. He's our X factor. He can make things happen.
Yeah.
Without him, what are you going to do? How many times have we said in the past that we've just hit and hope he can do something? It's all been on him.
Is the criticism where he's around the halfway line and he's fanning around? Is there times where you just need to pass it?
Play the simple ball. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Because he's been compared to Ben Arfa and Robert. They didn't do that. They were higher up the pitch that did it a lot of the times, but not because the amount of times that I think the criticism that ASM's got is that he loses the ball and then the other teams counter. And it was we're conceded against Everton, Spurs, numerous of times. Granted, not all of them were his fault for the goals, but
he's still relatively young. He's not in his peak yet. There's still things for him to learn, and decision making like that is obviously where.
Learning quickly, though. You cannot.
I don't disagree, but yeah, I don't disagree with your point. It's one of these things that cost us, and look, we've even said the same about Sean Longstaff. Every time he seems to lose the ball, the opposition used to bloody score, because he'd get caught in a bad area of the pitch. So it's not just him. Look, you know what you're going to get with him. He's the only player of ours really, unless you get peak Ryan Fraser possibly, that can get you off your seat.
We haven't beat Wolves since 2011 in the Premier League. Wow. And that's going back. Well, as I say, they need a performance. Sam's thinking, well, say, I read out the comments. Elliot, good to see you.
Always draws. Oh, bloody hell, Elliot Caswell.
Elliot,
Long time no see.
Haven't seen you for a while. Get you on the fan reaction, man. I love his passion. Goes off it and tells it like it is. Love that. Graham, hello, pal. Agree we need ESM for the future of the team relies on. Totally agree, but I'm just, because I'm presenting, I'm just weighing up the
You're playing devil's advocate. I know.
Yeah, I'm playing good versus evil. Yeah. Good cop, bad cop. But yeah, he's got to play.
That's what devil's advocate means.
Yeah, no. But he's got to play. He has to play. And the next one is to go on to Joe Linton. With this midfield three, I don't see changing. Is he the one to come out and Bruno comes in?
Well, no, it'll be Willock, but I would take Joe Linton out as well, and I would play Sean Longstaff just for this one. I'd just take him out for a game. I think the last two games he's been appalling, and he's been dominated by Decore and Bentacore.
Yeah, we are doing the line in a few minutes, and we'll make this.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not kicking the boot into Joe Linton because he has been amazing. He's been fantastic since the switch to central midfield. But sometimes you just need to pull a player out for a game or two. Give Sean Longstaff his chance for a game or two. Sean had been playing very well. Willock's obviously injured. I want to see Sean do to get forward a bit more, like Willock had been doing. Willock arguably would have been a contender to sit this one out as well, were he not injured. But look, on that unbeaten run, the midfield was superb. Bruno couldn't even get in the team. So I think Bruno now, we know what he's about. We haven't seen it to full effect, but we know his quality, and he's the first name on that team sheet for me.
I thought I'd never say this, but do you think Emil Kraft should come in
a back four? Yeah.
And then
I've always said it. You know this. Johnny knows this. In a back four, I'd play Kraft. In a back five, I'd play Mankia.
Do you think this is Jamal Lascelles' best chance now to get back into the starting 11 because of what's just happened? If he doesn't get in this game and we've just conceded 5, he's not
possibly. Yeah, but who gets taken out? Because all right,
could be Burn, could be either one.
I mean, Cher is the favourite to be pulled out purely because it's the right side of defence, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
However, before Burns' arrival, Cher looked fine on the left-hand side of the back too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
At Leeds and whatnot. So it's going to be a big call, that is, for Eddie Howe. A big call. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if he stuck with Burn and Cher.
Last one before we try and predict to 11, and then we'll talk briefly what we think Eddie Howe might say in the presser. Dwight Gale, he's been through 3 managers now, sitting there. Can I get a kick? You just scored 2 and that's against a college-based side, don't get me wrong, but a bunch of kids. But he's sitting there on the bench thinking, I've just seen 3 people play up front today in different times during the game. He had obviously a couple of wingers play up top, and he's just not even getting a look in. Why is he even getting named on the bench? And I said it's not just an Eddie Howe issue. This, I think it's just in the Rafa thing. If you're putting a striker on the bench, why aren't you using him? And I said this to you the other day, even if it was Dylan Stevenson, I would say, well, why isn't he getting brought on? Is he simply just not good enough?
We know all about Dwight Gale. There's no secret with him now. We've everyone watching this knows Dwight Gale isn't good enough to be a consistent Premier League player. He has flashes like that header against West Brom last season from Jacob Murphy's cross. Filth. X-rated filth. But Wood's first choice. Wood's first choice until the end of the season. Dwight Gale will be going at the end of the season. I'd rather play Dylan Stevenson. Gale is on the bench purely in case someone gets injured. That's it.
It's just, so if I'm Dwight Gale, I'm sat there on the bench thinking, okay, so I've seen Ryan Fraser play up top this season. I've seen Jacob Murphy play up top. Even on the weekend, there was different people playing up top for short periods.
Yeah, that was just a mess.
What have I got to do to get off the bench? Not start, just...
He's not going to, is he? Look, he's been at... Do you know what?
Why name him on the bench, then?
In case someone gets injured. You can't name a striker on the bench. Jesus. Imagine we used to hammer Bruce for not naming a striker on the bench. But it was funny. I was talking to a West Brom fan the other day. I said, has he started playing 5 at the back yet? He went, yeah. I said, has he started playing players out of position yet? He went, yeah, how'd you know that? I went, oh, just an inkling. But there you go.
Villa fans told us that as well before we got Bruce, didn't we?
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, look, Gale's great servant down the years, crucial to us. Smart signing from when he signed, getting us out of the Championship. Did a job first season back in the Premier League. He should have gone to West Brom on a permanent.
Right then. Are we saying it's the same formation once again?
Yes.
We are staying with that. I think so as well. I don't think it'll be 5 at the back. Oh, both agree they keep us.
Yeah, M-dubs.
And I think, and I said this on the last words, I can't really point all the goals as his fault. I think maybe, which one was it? The Mankiw one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's possibly the only one, but really, I can't really point the finger at Martin Dubravka. I think he's number 1 for the rest of the season. Okay, we'll go left to right. You can pick no change at left back.
No. What's the alternatives really?
Hold on, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, but
or you can play Matt Ritchie who's come back. No. Okay, so Matty Target. Fair enough. I'm going to actually agree with you. I think it will be Emil Kraft. This is not what I want. This is the team that we think how we'll.
Why isn't it what you want?
Because we're trying to go with what.
No. So you would rather play Mankiw?
No.
So it is what you want then?
It's what I think how we'll go with.
Yeah.
It's not.
So what do you want then?
I want a 5-0 win on Friday night.
Yeah, but who do you want at right back? And don't say Trippier because he's still injured.
I hate to say it, I think it's going to have to be, as much as I'm worried about Kraft still, I think Mankiw had an awful performance. I just don't think he deserves to play. He had his chance. Kraft was in for a few games. Mankiw's come in. I just don't think he deserves to start. And I'd rather have over a longer period of time and across the season. I'd rather have Mankiw than Kraft. But Kraft has done okay. Yes, he's given a couple of daft fouls away and rugby tackling players and bringing them down. But
yeah, that's just banter, though, isn't
it? He's a bad bunch, but on form, Kraft just scrapes in. For me.
I mean, look, they're only there because Trippier's injured. We all know that now.
Go on, you can have any centre back you want.
I'll go to the left and stick with Dan Burn.
Burn, baby, burn. It's big Sam Fender fan, as Sam was mentioning earlier. So I think the captain's going to come in. Please, if you disagree, remember this is what I think how we'll go with. I would personally have Fabian Schär once again, even though the whole back four on the weekend was shocking. I think Fabian Schär he deserves to keep his place. Not in the performance, but overall since Eddie Howe's come in. But
I think he might stick with Schär and say, right, lads, you owe us a freaking performance.
I think the captain's coming in.
Yeah, it's a fair shout. I can completely see your reasoning.
There's 2 talkers there in centre back. So we know that Lascelles isn't the greatest footballer. Schär's a better footballer. Schär's better on form, despite the result of the weekend. But Lascelles had leadership, and I think it just needs a bit of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm proved right on Friday night. Let's move into midfield. You can have any one of them.
So, right. Okay. So I think in the middle of the 3 will be Shelvey.
You're going to go for John Joe. Okay. So John Joe Shelvey, yeah. His record predominantly is really good when he plays. And, there's a great video on YouTube currently at the moment by Football Daily. I'd urge you to check it out about Newcastle's tactics. And it shows a lot of positives with our wing-backs bombing up. Well, full-back, sorry. John Joe Shelvey and Chris Wood. Yes, Chris Wood of all people. It talks positively about him. Check it out after this video, of course. So John Joe Shelvey, I'm going to take the easy route. Yeah, I'll stick him on the. I'll go.
No, he'll be on the left.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're getting the 3 right. So I've selected left anyway. So, excuse me. I think it will be Bruno. I think despite me scoring very low the weekend, he was he was only on the pitch a short period of time, and he was the best of a very bad bunch on there on Sunday. Who's the other one who goes alongside them? Because it's basically Willock or Joe Litton or Sean.
I'm going for Sean.
Do you reckon it will be?
Yeah, Willock's injured, so he's not playing Friday. So it's him or Joe. I think Joe will come out for this game, and I think that's the right decision. I think Sean's going to have a game.
Interesting, that like. I don't think he will. Well, it's your call. I think Joe Litton, despite his poor run, will play. But again, if he comes to the bench, you can't really argue about it because the last couple of games he's been absolutely shocking. So,
and I think with that midfield three as well, you could easily change it to a 4-2-3-1 with Sean in the 10.
Yeah, you could change
it's more adept. It's more flexible. It's more adaptable to change. So there's a bit of fluidity there. But I want to see Longstaff get forward.
Yeah, he needs to have a performance to try and stay in this team because he's up against competition. That's what you want throughout the whole squad.
Yeah, we need strength and depth. So
I'll pick the easy one. No, Greenwood.
Bit awkward.
Where did that come from? No,
I don't know. I hope the little shit never plays football again. But there you go. Moving on.
That's why, because I've selected Wood and then he's there. Yeah. So the New Zealander Chris Wood. We've talked about Dwight Gale literally just before. He's not going to start. It's going to be Chris Wood. I think Chris Wood will possibly have the shirt for the rest of the season because I don't think Wilson will be. Don't think we'll see in the season personally. So Chris Wood's quite an easy one. You're going to have either left or right.
Left. Alan Saint-Maximin,
who's under a little bit of pressure. Are you just on him because I didn't really touch upon it before? Are you happy he hasn't come up with done any daft social media posts?
Yes. I am. Yeah. No, I am because I mean, look, he can sit there. He's just at home. Then he goes to training. Then he goes home, plays his board game, and then has his mind focused on the job.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't it go? Was it Monaco or somewhere? He held at the.
Yeah. Well, we all have hobbies outside of work.
We do. Look what we're doing now.
Quite right.
The last, well, it's only down to two players, isn't it? It's going to be Miggy or it's going to be Fraser. I think it will be Fraser.
Could be Jacob Murphy.
Oh, you're tempting us putting him in, on the actual right as well.
Behave yourself.
I think it will be Fraser. I think he will go for Fraser.
Yeah, quite right too.
I think he will do. Despite him having a poor game, he's a grafter. And I said that on Sunday. That's one thing you're going to get from him. So that's the starting 11. That means Sam have agreed to disagree.
Couple of eye openers in there, isn't there?
Yeah, Kraft, Lascelles, Longstaff in there.
It'll
be interesting to see because I think there will be some changes on Friday night. It won't be the same side. No. And we'll expect Bruno to come in as well. So there's another one there. But we expect that. And I would like to see him get on the ball a lot more on Friday night, which is going to be great under the lights because, the last time, was it Leeds? Was it Leeds last time? I think it was for Leeds Friday night last time out. And when it was a 1-1 draw, I think, was it 1-1? I think it was 1.
Norwich 1-1 was under the lights.
I thought it was Leeds. Someone correct us in the comments. But actually, we'll have a look at the comments because we've been rattling on there for about 10 minutes. I love this new match preview, guys. Well done. We'll be highly favouring. We only need 4 more points to save. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for the heads up. It didn't go too well earlier on because I couldn't share my screen for an update. Next 4 games ending with a Norwich away, which I'll be at. And 40. Remember him?
Remember him? He's taken a night off from filming grassroots games.
Be good. I haven't seen 40 for at a game since Southampton away at a game though. So
Southampton away? Pre-lockdown?
Yeah. When I seen him at a game, so it's been a while. He's mentioned that the day. Longstaff wins. Yeah, he has. He might shave it off for his birthday. Going on the bevies. Longstaff wins possession back and breaks play up nearly as well as Joe Litton, but it's not eye-catching enough for whatever reason. He's played well last few games, in my opinion, says Ollie. Yeah. Willock will be a huge loss. He's been brilliant the last few months. Yeah.
He has, but he can chuck in the odd stinker. But on the whole, he has.
if you had one of those charts, it'd be like that, wouldn't he? Going higher and higher, but a bit of a dip, higher dip.
Yeah, he has been much, much better.
Would like us to put more crosses in the box. I agree on that. Totally agree on that. But that has to come from both sides. And if ESM's not going to do it, there has to be a Matty target to try and start, even if it's from deep. Because we know Fraser will do it. Leeds was a Friday night, Norwich was a Wednesday night, I believe, both 1-1.
Yeah, Ollie knows. Nothing. Ollie is the first to correct us.
I'm sure it was Friday night. I thought so. Not going to get many crosses from ESM. We know this. We've talked about this on the channel before. He's all about himself in a selfish way. Not all the time, don't get me wrong, but if he sees Chris Wood, you'd rather take on 2 players.
I'd like to see ASM and Fraser switch wings halfway through the first half or something. You know, get a bit of variety in there to change the angle of Fraser's crossing a bit. And
do you think that? I don't think you'll do it, mate. But do you think if you plays Fraser and Miggy left and right, and then you free up one of the midfields for ESM in the 10, could that work?
I just think Miggy's done.
Yeah, I do as well. I think he's out the door. But can he get ESM more central? Because I think he's struggling out wide. Because he had that link up with Callum Wilson, didn't he?
Yes, possibly you can, or maybe a 4-2-3-1 that we go back to. Maybe you could go 4-2-3-1 with Shelvey and Bruno sitting in as the 2. Then you could have Fraser and Murphy whipping in the crosses, and then ASM in the 10.
Yeah. Right. Let's talk about what I would think Eddie Howe will say in the presser then. What do you think he's going to tell us about in terms of team news? We know Willock. Will he give too much away? Does he give too much away? Because you cover this on the socials quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he will give a lot away. There'll be an update on Trippier. Craig Hope in the Mail said he's down to miss the next 2 games, and they're hoping he's back. He should be returning to training soon, which would be huge going into... if Trippier is back for Palace at home, that'll give the whole stadium a lift before we even start. And I know it sounds crazy because the guy's a right back, but we all know how he performed before he got injured. The guy's immense. So, yeah, I think that'll be the main one. I don't think Willock's injury is too serious. So it should only be for 1, maybe 2 games tops that he's out for. Hopefully. I could be wrong. I don't know for definite. I'm not in the know. It's just from what I've read. But, yeah, I think that'll be the main centerpieces. And then, obviously, there's questions to be asked. Changes to the team, the backline call, the midfield call. Down that spine of the team, there's some big calls to be made.
There is. Do you think you'll get asked about any of the Saudi stuff, or has that kind of dived off a little bit? It's kind of a bit quiet.
He straight bats it anyway. It is what it is. I mean, the media are too focused on Chelsea at the moment. Yeah,
it'll come back round and it'll be asked. No doubt we'll hear about that before the end of the season. We do have a little funny video. I don't know if Sam's been on YouTube the last day or so, but behind the scenes. But it's going to be on NFTV Extra. Johnny had some fans, if you remember, around him on Sunday night. I'm going to put it on Extra for you tomorrow on NFTV Extra, so please head over there. Shall I give him a little snippet? Yeah, why not? He has 10 seconds of the video. Ooh, friends.
A lot of criticism.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All these Tottenham friends waiting for this.
Give us a wave. Hello, woman in the background. Give us a wave. So that was Johnny. That's going to be on NFTV Extras. A little bit of a funny video, which is great. So have a look. And I've been battering the videos, and we've had quite a few videos go out. I think the Formula One's back as well. We'll just pop over there so you can have a little look. So quite a few videos the past past couple of weeks. Look at that, 8 videos in the past 2 weeks. So it's good to see NFTV Extra. We're clipping up the best of NFTV. We've got the 2 fights which I was filmed from my mobile. You know, under 23s, the women's, the behind clip. And we're trying to grow.
Yeah, that was covered in the Chronicle. Our interview with Wes Behang. Yeah,
great. We've got the Formula One. If you like the F1 calls on there, so we've got quite a few over here on NFTV Extra. We're trying to grow that channel, so please pop over because not many people know that we've got this channel. And this is the best of NFTV and non-football and under 23s and women's and what have you. So I'll be doing a channel update shortly about it anyway. Let's get some score predictions in. Get your predictions in. We'll read them out before we wrap up. What are you going to go with, Sam? What's happening Friday night then?
I'm going good to go for the usual Newcastle Wolves scoreline of 1-1.
I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic. I think we will bounce back. I don't know if it'll be pretty, but I think we'll scrape at 1-0 and a clean sheet will be coming.
I would love that.
I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to be an out on telly, but for the people
I don't care if it's pretty. It's just all about, I don't care if we finish 17th, 16th, 5th. As long as we don't finish 18th, 19th, 20th. I don't care. I just want to stay up and look forward to the summer because it's going to be so much fun.
Lots of transfer rumour videos, which I hate personally.
Yeah.
Because we've got no tournament football this summer, so that's all the videos. Everyone will be doing that. All the YouTubers will be doing that. Burnley 2, Everton 2 is the latest.
Desmond.
That'll
A
keep
draw
me-
would suit us.
I would like to see Everton go down.
I know you would. I know you would.
Oh, Scotty Howe. I'm saying 2-1 Wolves. God. 2-1 the 2 and ESM and Shelby. Yeah, Shelby's due a goal. Hasn't scored for... He's got a couple of decent ones.
Since Leeds, wasn't it?
Yeah, since that dodgy free kick in Ellen Road, which my lad just decided to let in. Very similar to Fabian Shares with Hugo Lloris. But yeah, I'm going 1-0. And Adrian's going to go for a 1-1 draw with Woodford bullet header. Yes. But nice to see some people who don't get on the score sheet often to get on. Obviously,
Like your centre forward.
like we're centre forward was 1-11. Yeah. Not great, is it? But we'll be there. Are we having a video tomorrow?
If you want to.
Do you want to not tell them, but kind of tell them?
There's a Greenwood and Mulliner show being recorded tomorrow, but it depends if you want to put it out tomorrow. And we've got one on Monday too.
Put it out tomorrow. Yeah, put the Greenwood and Mulliner show out tomorrow. That saves me having to do a video idea. That's just the truth. Gives me a day off because I'll put something out.
Subscribe to the podcast as well. We've got a nice new logo which you paid for.
Yeah, we did. We'll do all that on channel updates because I might do that over the weekend after the Wolves game. So yeah, we'll have a Greenwood Mulliner show. We've got all the videos from Friday night as well. I'm going to be there. Johnny's going to be there. I'm not sure if Harry's there. Harry's not sure about Harry.
So.
And then we've obviously got the watch along, and we'll have the last word later on the night as well with a match reaction from Mr. Greenwood himself.
I'll be in bed by then. Busy day the next day.
Off at the weekend off. A weekend off of knee football.
Grand National Saturday. My busiest day.
Sam's busiest day. Check the link in the description for all of the best offers in that for you. But yeah, we'll wrap up here, everybody. It's Friday night under the lights of St. James's Park. You cannot wish for now else. Let's hope Newcastle get the win from Sam and myself. See you, everyone.